Alright, I'm going to show you guys how I prep my daughter's food. We use the real food blends and we do a variety flavor, so I just pick 3 packets of food. These are the supplies I use. I have my NutriBullet blender cup, and that's not necessary, but I feel like it blends all the food together better along with the salt and the vitamin. So I will do this. When I first started, I used a big Pyrex mixing bowl. I wanted to use glass instead of plastic, but some of the real food blends, like the egg, for example, was too thick for me to mix, and it wouldn't go through the pump as well. And the bolus feeds, a lot of the air bubbles would be in the egg especially. So even when I use egg, if I use egg in the NutriBlender, it blends it much better than if I tried to hand blend it. But I think my husband still uses the hand blender, which is totally fine too. And this is what I would use if I were to hand blend it with just a whisk. And I won't do that. So these are my 3 packets. I just pick any 3 flavors. I don't have any rhyme or reason of any of it. And 3 packets fits perfectly in here. My daughter gets 5 feeds a day, 150 mLs per feeding. And it doesn't last the whole day, but when I run out, like a 5 o'clock feed or like even the last feed of the night, I'll just make a new batch. So I don't want to waste any of the food, so that's why I like to go a little shorter than what's needed. And we have 1 teaspoon of salt, and it's the light sodium, which is what was told to us by Karen. So I just measure that. And then I have a pill crusher. I just get at the pharmacy, like any pharmacy, Kroger, Target, or wherever. So I just crush that. And I find that if this has any moisture in it, it kind of like squeals. It's not a pleasant sound, so I try to clean it out every once in a while. And when I'm not using it, I just leave it exposed to air so it doesn't get all gross. So then I'll blend, and I'll do that over here where I have my blender. And it's just a quick blend since I didn't have egg in this one. So it's a lot easier to blend the other flavors. And this is what I found on some forums on like Facebook. It's like a feeding tube group that I belong to. This is a squeezy bottle. You can get it from, I think it's called Squeezy Gear. You can get it on Amazon, or they have their own site. And I compared prices, and they're the same, but I like Amazon because I order everything from Amazon. So I will pour in here. And I have a couple of these squeezy bottles because one full container of my NutriBullet will overfill one bottle. So I have a couple of these and some smaller ones. And this has a cap. And it also has like a little filter, kind of slows down the flow. I don't have a preference on either one, so sometimes I'll just use it without the filter. And I think, as the kids get older and they learn how to eat, they can use this as like their water bottle. So then I get, these are the Miracle O-ring syringes from that squirrel website. And I wash these and I reuse them. And I hand wash a lot of things unless I'm running the dishwasher for the night, and these will work out in the dishwasher. And this is just olive oil, and I just squirt just a little bit in there to just lube it up again so it doesn't get stuck. So I just do that. And this actually fits perfectly in the little opening there. And these are 60 ml syringes. And so I fill up 2 full ones of these, plus one that goes up to 40, because you have to account for the waste that's in the bolus extension. I'll show you what I need. So I have to use 3 syringes with this bolus extension, and I counted it, and it's 9 mLs of waste that my daughter is not getting in her food. So even though she gets 150 mLs per feeding, I do fill the 3rd syringe to the 40 mark, or 39, I guess. So that accounts for the 9 mLs that she's not getting because of this. So when you attach it to the syringe, you just make sure to get all the air out. You get to the very end, and I clamp it, and then it's ready to feed. And as far as the other syringes, I have one that's warming already. Because these miracle syringes don't come with a cap, anytime when I have like these extension tubings that are getting old, and you can tell when they get like really hard, I just cut them and clamp it off, and I use them as kind of like the lids or the covers for these syringes. So when I have them in this squeezy bottle in the fridge and I have to suck it out and it's cold, I warm it up with just hot water. So I just get like a big cup of water and I put them in there and let it warm up. It doesn't take very long. It doesn't take as long as like a bottle because the plastic is a lot thinner. So here are my 3 total syringes that I'm going to feed my daughter. So that's 1 full 60. And there's that second one that's a full 60. And this one's just she does tolerate a little more than the 150. So because this was the end of the old formula, I just filled it all the way to what was left. And she will tolerate that. And I think that's it. And I throw away the reason I do only 3 packs of food is because it's only good for 24 hours once you open the pack. So if I don't use all the food, sometimes it overlaps weird, or if your little one is sick and she doesn't tolerate the food, a full feed, then sometimes I'll have leftover. And after 24 hours, I toss it and just start over. And I think that's about it.